Okay, just a brief video to have a look at what happens if the equations are a little bit nasty, got a negative amount of x here. Again, make sure you know what does the equation mean. Okay, 3 take away 2x is 21. So we've got 3 and we're removing 2 lots of a mystery number to get 21. Now there are a couple of ways of going about this. I'm going to show you both and then I'm going to tell you which one I prefer. Okay, so 3 is positive 3, add 3. I don't want it there. The only things I want to have on this side of the equation, well, the only thing I want on this side of the equation is x. I want x on its own. So I'm going to remove anything that isn't x. So I'm going to remove the 3. Okay, this 3 is less tightly attached to x than this negative 2, so I'm going to get rid of that first. How do you get rid of 3? Well, by remembering that it's actually positive 3, add 3, so I'll do the inverse to add 3. I'll take away 3 from this side, and that means I will take away 3 from this side, and that gives me 18. Again, translate this. What does it say? It says a number multiplied by negative 2 makes 18. I don't want it multiplied by negative 2, so get it on its own. How do you get rid of that multiplied by negative 2? You do the opposite, the inverse to multiplied by negative 2. You divide by negative 2. If you divide by negative 2 on this side, you divide by negative 2 on this side. And I'm going to write that algebraically so that the examiner can see that I know what I'm doing. So x is 18 divided by negative 2. What is that? Well, what I always teach you when dealing with negative numbers is, first of all, sort out the size of the answer. So I've got 18 divided by 2, that is 9. And then I've got a positive number divided by a negative number. Positive divided by negative is negative. So the mystery number x is negative 9. All right, that's one approach. Let's have a look at a second approach. So exactly the same question. This says 3 take away 2 lots of my unknown number is 21. I've got a negative amount of x, always unpleasant, difficult to deal with. I don't want it, okay? The last thing that happened in creating this was to take away 2 lots of x. So let's get rid of that. Okay, I'm removing take away 2x. How do you do that? You do the inverse of take away 2x. You add 2x. If you add 2x on this side, then you're going to have to do the same on this side. Add 2x on this side. What does that give me? Well, I started with 21 and now I've got add 2x. You might not be happy with x on the right hand side, but it's perfectly fine. What does this say? It says 3 equals 21 add 2x. I can get a number 3 by having 21 add 2 lots of an unknown number. Okay, or I could read this backwards. 2 lots of my number add 21 is 3. Works exactly the same. All right, I want x on its own on this side. Why isn't it on its own at the moment? Well, it's been multiplied by 2 and 21 has been added on. Let's get rid of the add 21. It's gone, look. How do you do that? By doing the opposite, the inverse to add 21. You take away 21 from this side, and so you take away 21 from this side. Okay, that's a little bit tricky. 3 take away 21, isn't it? Okay, what does this mean? Get in the lift, on the 3rd floor and go down 21 floors. Well, starting at the 3rd floor, if you go down 3 floors, that brings you to the ground floor, floor 0. We've done 3 of the 21 floors that we're going down. We've got 18 floors still to go down. So we would be 18 floors below ground. That's one way of dealing with negative numbers. Personally though, I like to say, well, it's 21 in one direction and 3 in the other direction. The distance we're going to travel is 21 take away 3 is 18. In which direction? Well, we go down more than we go up, so it's going to be negative 18. All right. What does this say? Well, I'm going to read this back to front. 2 lots of my number is negative 18. I don't want 2 lots of my number. I want my number on its own. How do I do that? Well, I get rid of the times by 2 by doing the inverse of times by 2. I do divide by 2, and I do it on both sides. So negative 18 divided by 2. Well, again, deal with the size of the answer. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Negative divided by positive is negative. Negative 9 equals x. I usually prefer to end up with x on the left hand side, so I just switch it around. X is negative 9, but negative 9 is x, says the same thing. Notice, if I hadn't have done that last line, these 2 methods take exactly the same amount of writing. So it's your choice. But I prefer this one. Why do I prefer this one? Because in doing this, I managed to avoid dividing by a negative number. Here I had to divide by negative 2. Here I only had to divide by positive 2. And when we come on to more complicated questions, I think this is the better approach. It helps us to deal with the negative numbers more simply. Have a go at both, see how you get on.